What up, hotheads? I'm Henry, and this is Blaze the Roof. This week, we'll be reviewing a sauce named Heatonist, The Last Dab Apollo. This one should be pretty fucking hot. The Apollo pepper is apparently the world's hottest pepper unofficially. Where last sauce I did, the Scorpion Disco, just really did a number on me. After I filmed it, I got what I call capsaicin cramps, and it was the first time I've ever experienced that with a sauce. It was pretty intense. I'm hoping that I'm not getting too old for this and that I have to quit with the hot sauces, but I might have to get away from super hots for a bit. We'll see. This will be the ultimate test here. So as I mentioned, this is made by the Heatonist. If you're not familiar with the Heatonist, they are the company that supply 3 out of the 10 sauces on Hot Ones. They are a curator of hot sauces as well as, and they also make their own. All right, they do have 2 locations, one in Brooklyn. It was founded by Noah Chainberg in 2013. And essentially, this is the 3rd iteration of The Last Dab. The city it's out of is Brooklyn. It's no longer actually a city, it's a borough. It's on Long Island, but it's not considered part of Long Island. And it was settled by Dutch immigrants who once named it Brooklyn, which means broken land in Dutch. I guess it's a good thing it's called a broken land because hipsters came in and fixed it with gentrification. So good job, hipsters. Williamsburg is the neighborhood where Heatonist is basically the mecca for hipsters. I'm pretty sure hipsters have to make a yearly pilgrimage to Williamsburg so they could talk about how cool it was before everyone else knew about it. Famous people. There's a ton of famous people. We're just going to go over a few. Gross pedophile Woody Allen, Mos Def, who now goes by the name Yasin Bey, Jay-Z, Babs, right, Barbra Streisand, Peter Criss from Kiss. Actually, Kiss was all in this area, I believe, and Beastie Boys, especially, and there's especially MCA from Beastie Boys. There's just a ton of people from this area. So let's now look at the packaging. So they went with a gold foil on this one. I do believe that the Last Dab XXX had gold foil wrapping as well. It's got the Hot Ones logo on it because this is the closer sauce. It says, The Last Dab Apollo is the world's only hot sauce made with the Apollo pepper, the new hottest pepper from the Guinness World Record holding chili breeder Smoking Ed Curry. He's a name that you hear often. The Apollo pepper channels the sun's energy to bring new levels of flavor and heat to the world of super hots. Live the Hot Ones tradition. Now let's look at the ingredients. The ingredients on here include the Apollo pepper, distilled vinegar, the Apollo pepper powder, and the Apollo pepper distillate. So apparently when you talk about the Apollo pepper, you're supposed to use the. You can't just say Apollo pepper, it's the Apollo pepper. So since we're talking about the Apollo pepper, let's continue with that. It is a hybrid of the Carolina Reaper and the Pepper X. Well, with the Reaper being the current official hottest pepper, and the Pepper X before the release of the Apollo being the unofficial hottest. What you're supposed to get with the Apollo is the fruitiness of the Reaper pepper, which I agree. Reaper peppers have a really great taste to them. And you get an earthiness of the Pepper X. The Apollo pepper allegedly tips the scale at over 3 million SHUs. Before we get any further, let's hear from this week's sponsor. Introducing CDN's Shut Up and Watch lineup. First off, a new action series where a mysterious stranger suddenly appears and starts to help a government agency. They of course immediately accept the help since somehow all the crimes tie together. Led by chiseled jaw gruff stoic guy who's too fiery for his job. Aided by the socially inept nerd who's way too smart to be a government worker. The wrong side of the tracks Maverick, who blurs the lines, and the director who goes too far out of their reach to help the team. Introducing Black Spot, or Blind List, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You'll still watch this crap. After that, it's a comedy about a fat, semi-funny guy who has a wife that's way too hot for him and his annoying kids. It has a laugh track, so of course it's funny. Shut Up and Watch on CDN. Now for the moment of truth. During the break, I looked at the original XXX logo, and that one was red. It was gold, black, and red instead of black, gold, and black, red, and gold. So I also did notice that the flavor profile changed greatly. So the triple X had like ginger, cumin, turmeric. Whoo, it smells like pure. Holy shit, this might be bad. This one has no other spices. It's just vinegar and Apollo pepper. It's all Apollo pepper, and it seems to be very chunky. It's red, and all I smell is vinegar and pepper. This is gonna be a brutal sauce. I might not do a full spoonful. Ooh, this looks very wicked. This is just all pepper, so here we go. Wish me luck, people. Cheers. Very chunky sauce. Ooh, that is a slow build. You could taste that earthiness that they're talking about. Well, the heat is still building. This is a very slow burn. There's not much of a face burner. I am pretty perplexed. I mean, it's giving me hiccups. So obviously there's a bit of heat to this, but I'm barely even gonna put this as a heavyweight though. I mean, yeah, I do have hiccups. I'm sweating a little bit. It is hot, but although the heat is still increasing, it's a very slow burn. Back of the tongue. It's not that bad. It's got a good flavor for the fruit. A little bit of a earthiness and slight bitterness, but nothing unbearable. I think the hiccups are more psychological at this point. But this is barely even it's a heavyweight, but it's nowhere near this isn't even the worst version of the triple X, I feel. Although the burn is lingering, it's still there. But this is not a 2 million Scoville sauce. I would barely even put it at like 200, 300 SHUs. The thing about it is very fruit forward with a slight bit of bitterness, but it's not bad. And well, I guess instead of bitterness, let's say earthiness. It's not going to change the profile of your foods. It will add heat, and it will add a little bit of the fruitiness of the pepper itself. But it's not going to drastically change whatever you put it on. Because of that, you could literally put this, I think, on anything. Be careful with it, because again, it is a slow, sustained burn. I think the worst is past now. Again, it lends itself to being able to be used in any type of food, I think. It's just very neutral. Good taste. The vinegar's not overpowering, so again, you could just use it on anything. Although, even as far as that goes, I would actually rather have the triple X. I just like it in my lentils. And if I'm going to get a super hot, Reaper Squeezins is hotter than this one, so... Next week, we're going to take a little bit of a break from the super hots. Go back to a company that makes really hot sauces, Volcanic Peppers. But we're going to go with their corny chipotle. Until then, I'm Henry, and remember, spice up your life. Take care.